He was best known as the logical Mr. Spock from Star Trek. Today, the world is mourning the loss of actor Leonard Nimoy. Good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 1. I'm Glenn Walker.
And down Mary Beth McDade in this afternoon for Lou Parker. Leonard Nimoy earned a permanent place in pop culture as the iconic science fiction character Mr. Spock, but he was also known for roles on various other shows, directing, and even a singing stint.
And Nimoy died at his Bel Air home this morning at the age of 83. KTLA's Sam Rubin takes a look back at a career that lived long and prospered.
He came into the mainstream of our culture in the mid-1960s, and essentially, he's never left. Leonard Nimoy had one particular portrayal that stays with us forever.
One triple, multiplying with an average litter of 10, producing a new generation every 12 hours.
This is why Leonard Nimoy will essentially live forever. The character of Mr. Spock has been, and will continue to be, a global icon.
A most fascinating thing happened.
Nimoy was born in Boston in 1931, and he left Boston College to come to Hollywood and pursue acting. Minor roles in major television shows like Perry Mason led to a major role in a television series that initially was not appreciated at the time. As Nimoy told me, during his first Hollywood Christmas parade, producers couldn't even get his name right.
When we did the first season of Star Trek in 1966, and Bill Shatner and I were invited to ride down the Hollywood Boulevard Parade, the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and the announcers were announcing who's coming down the car so people on the sidewalks and the audience would know who to expect. And I heard the man saying, "Here they come, the stars of the new television series Star Trek. Give a big welcome to Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, William Shatner, and Leonard Nimoy."
But Star Trek fans could. And even though the series only ran initially for 3 years, the subsequent spin-off shows and films have established the Star Trek world forever. Nimoy told us why the show and movies have endured.
And do you think there were these hidden lessons and messages and all this kind of stuff?
The Star Trek stories were really interesting, and some of the stories, and I think that's why the series lasted as long, the interest lasted as long as it did, because it was about something. It wasn't just good guys, bad guys. There was very often a social idea involved, or a scientific idea involved, or a philosophical idea, and I think that's why it lasted.
Nimoy also prospered as a film director, directing not only Star Trek films, but mainstream comedy hits like 3 Men and a Baby. He was also a much sought-after acting teacher. He talked about sharing his craft.
A lot of people don't understand it. How does one teach acting?
Well, there are certain techniques, just like you would teach a carpenter how to deal with wood. The actor's instrument is his body, and then the voice and body and so forth, but also the thought process, very important, the thought process. What's going on in the person's mind when they're saying what they're saying? And teaching that is a very important part of the process. Learning it is an important part of the process.
What Nimoy said is that performances matter, and that's among the reasons he'll always be remembered as Mr. Spock. Throughout his life, he portrayed several other roles and published 2 autobiographies and books of his photography and poetry. His final tweet, issued a few days prior to his death, is especially profound. "A life is like a garden. Perfect moments can be had, but not preserved, except in memory."
Live long and prosper.
Leonard Nimoy, indelible in our memories, was 83 years old. I'm Sam Rubin.